Raphael, we're here as MCM experts. Great to have you here. Obviously, Kaidan in Mass Effect is super popular. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's a mystery, isn't it?
It's a mystery. No, I mean, Kaidan character is particularly for women and certain men provides a sort of a very romantic play through the game. There's a lot of men who come to me and tell me, I hate to tell you, but I killed you in Vermeer, and it's okay. Dude, it's okay. But I do know that he's very loyal and very, passionate and caring and sort of a conscience, I guess, in a certain sense, and a good man. And for whatever combination of reasons, they have been able to sort of create this extraordinary universe that has so much depth in it and has people so connected to these characters. Of all the things that I've done, in terms of kind of fan sort of response, I have to say that Mass Effect is the most extraordinary sort of response, bar none.
Thinking about those recording sessions that you've done, what particular memorable moments have you had from them?
Oh, memorable moments. I mean, we've done these games now for over, almost 10 years, right? So the wonderful things that are really fun are just, I always love the scenes that were really, look, let me just back up a second and say this. A lot of video games, unlike what they did with Mass Effect, are, from an acting point of view anyway, all about just screaming and yelling, get down, look out, sure, and invariably, if you talk to any of the actors who do them, you'll find that they talk about how their voice turns into hamburger afterwards. You can't talk for 3 days. You're wiped out because they just want it louder, scream more. And what was so really cool about Mass Effect when it first came along was that it was a game that was really devoted to characters and relationships and not just screaming. And they made a very specific point of saying, hey, we want this more like an episode of 24. We want this more like a movie. We want a filmic performance. We don't want to just sort of be either just characters or cartoony. We want it real. So that was what was sort of so engaging and really sort of took, I think took this game into sort of making it something special. I understand also anecdotally it's the game that really definitively brought in more women into gaming than any other game, at least that's what I was told. And again, I think because of these relationships, because of these scenes, where between Shepard and Kaidan, where there's this sort of undercurrent or subtext of something that wants to be said but can't, those are great scenes to play.
Definitely, and we love them as well. Now, you mentioned movie there, it was more like a movie, and that got me thinking, well, there has been talk of Mass Effect movie, hasn't there? What's your take on that, and who would you like to see as a director if you could have anybody?
Oh my God. Well, it's a genius idea, of course, because they've got this great fan base. And, Mark Mir was just talking about how it's essentially the gaming world's version of Star Wars, right? In terms of its depth and breadth and size. God, who could direct it? It just, it's going to be an enormous movie, and they'll spend $1 zillion on it when they do it, and all the biggest movie stars will be in it, and those of us who created the parts will be waving from the audience, I'm sure. Maybe we'll do a cameo, but at the end of the day, it's a great idea because it's such a great world, and I think you've got an immediate fan base who I think would really seek it out.
Definitely. If you had to have someone else filling Kaidan's boots, who would it be, do you think? Who would you like to see on the big screen?
Golly. I have no idea. I guess, who would you think? I don't know.
Oh my God, that's just turning the question back on me. It's too hard, isn't it?
That's hard. It's so funny. I told this story. There was a panel recently we just did, and I met the fellow who's the face model for Kaidan Alenko, and he's a wonderful guy. And we went to went to lunch together, and we were, we both run nonprofits, and so we were talking about, our background, and then so he said, "Oh, we got to get a picture." I was like, "Yeah." And so there was a guy sitting in a cafe, and he was a geeky looking guy with a, a little hat, and he was on his phone. And I said, "Excuse me, would you mind taking our picture?" And he said, "Oh yeah." I said, "I do the voice, and he's the face of this game we do." And it's the first time we ever met. And he said, "Oh yeah, what game is it? Some sort of indie game?" I said, "Yeah, kind of indie." I said, "Do you know Mass Effect?" He went, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know Kaidan Alenko?" He went, "Oh my God, I need this for my Facebook page." So I mean, you guys are everywhere, right? So it's I think a movie will be in order, and I think it'll be pretty exciting to see some of that casting as it comes down.
And what about Once Upon a Time as well? Because obviously you play two characters in that, which must be quite interesting for you as an actor as well. And I know that you've talked about wanting or would like a crossover between Once Upon a Time and Star Wars. Now that obviously Disney's got ABC and the Star Wars franchise, what do you think that would look like?
I said that in jest, honestly, just because I know Disney bought, Disney bought Star Wars, and they were saying, "What character would you want to bring?" And I said R2-D2. I don't see that happening, but I just thought it was funny. But
I want to see it now that you said it. I do. Let's make this happen.
Let's make it happen. You heard it here first. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's they can go anywhere. I don't know if that would really work. I don't really see that happening unless it was sort of a gag, actually. But it'd be pretty freaking funny.
What are the characters that you like in the show if you could have that happen?
What are the characters? I mean, there's so many wonderful literary characters now that they introduced Frankenstein. I mean, Moby Dick could be interesting, or oh God, there's just so many. I mean, it's really amazing to have a show that literally could go anywhere. It's just when you think about, how most shows get locked in to, the case of the week or the body of the week or the bad guy of the week, whatever. This has so much depth and breadth and such an enormous canvas. It's such a testament to what they've done, and for American entertainment, which doesn't always travel well to other countries, this also has seemingly a way to kind of cut across so many boundaries. I mean, I get tweets from literally all over the world, and people who really just love these stories, love these sort of familiar fairy tales, and love the retelling.
Now we're on the thinking about crossovers with Star Wars and Once Upon a Time. I want to know what character you'd like to be in Star Wars. Star Wars Episode 7. Who would you be? J.J. Abrams, listen in.
Right, Darth Vader. Right, C-3PO. I don't know. C-3PO could be really fun.
Well, it's been great to speak to you, Raphael. Have you got anything you'd like to say to the fans of both Once Upon a Time and also Mass Effect, of course, out there as well?
Yeah, gee whiz. I mean, for the Mass Effect fans, we've, I think all feel sort of sad about the fact that it's come to an end, but it also has created sort of a really remarkable preciousness of an experience of this epic journey. And, in a way, we can always say we'll always have Mass Effect and the world we shared. And to Once Upon a Time, in terms of kind of what's ahead, it's, thrilling to sort of see where they're going to go. I think the possibilities are endless. And for anyone who wants to follow me on Twitter, it's Raphael Sbarge. I love hearing from the fans and love hearing what you have to say and what your thoughts are. And there was a new poll as to, who's going to take over the positions of mayor and, in Storybrooke now. So anyway, it's a pretty fun chat going on. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, come find me.